This is the Nomad Stand One Max 3-in-1 Qi 2 charger. Thank you, Nomad, for sending this out for me to check out. I'm really glad that I finally got my hands on this thing. I've always wanted to see different things from Nomad. The only thing I've used before is the trekking card, which I made a video on the channel before. But this 3-in-1 charging station is something that definitely fits my channel because I've done various different 3-in-1 chargers. But honestly, after using this one, I have not seen something so nicely built as this Nomad 3-in-1 charger. This thing has a really nice premium design, fit, and finish to it. It's hefty. It weighs around 2 pounds, I think, is what Nomad said. And this thing does not get lifted off your desk when taking off your device. This is something that happens all the time with other 3-in-1 chargers, but for the Nomad 3-in-1, you don't have to worry about this thing. It's extremely premium of a charger compared to all the other plastic 3-in-1 chargers from the different brands. So this is the first time I've personally seen this, and I will definitely stick to Nomad chargers from now on just because of the materials that they use. First, I want to begin with the charging aspect of it. You have a standing iPhone MagSafe charger, which also works for Qi 2, and you have the ability to charge the iPhone up to 15 watts with this charger. Then you have a fast charger on your Apple Watch. So if your Apple Watch is one of the newer models that supports fast charging, you have no issues with this charger having the max potential for your Apple Watch. And then you also have an AirPod section that charges up to 5 watts, of course. So you get the latest and fastest charging for your AirPods. The one thing that I do want to mention here though, you might be wondering, when you use a charger like this one where the Apple Watch is put on the base of the actual product, then you have the band going behind the Apple Watch charger. How does that affect the AirPods? Well, this is what I've noticed. For my bands that I've used from like Nomad or my original one that came with my Apple Watch, those bands have buckles. You can unbuckle it and then put the AirPods in between the actual band, which is not a problem at all. However, the moment you have a loop band, if you have the Apple original one or some other one, those bands cannot work with the AirPod section to charge because of the fact that it blocks the AirPods from sticking into the little cubby to charge. This is something that I think that in a later generation of this charger, Nomad should definitely keep in consideration. So they should probably move the AirPod section behind the iPhone section, because that way your iPhone can charge and in no way is it in the way for the AirPods to charge. But then you also have the Apple Watch section standalone, so you can put whatever band you want, whether it be metal, whether it be a loop, whether it be a regular buckle band. So I think that they should definitely move the AirPod section behind the iPhone charger. That way they can have the full potential for any device and any circumstance. And I think that another thing that should be added to the AirPod section is the ability to have some type of magnets. I've seen some other 3-in-1 chargers that have magnets on the portion of where the AirPods charge, and that is great if you have a magnetic charging case for your AirPods. Because instead of just placing it perfect and waiting for a chime or waiting to figure out from the software if your AirPods are charging, it's better where the magnets can just attract the AirPods directly into the place where they need to charge. I love the way it sits on my desk and completes my desk setup because I have a studio display that has a metal base, and having this metal charger right next to it just completes the overall desk setup, and that's something I definitely go for when I want to do a really aesthetically pleasing desk setup. And this charger definitely does not disappoint. The next thing I want to point out is that it comes with a braided cable in the box. I think it's around 2 meters, so that cable is included. It's a nice braided cable that has a Nomad logo, and you have that one USB-C port on the back of the charger where you can plug in the cable to charge all your devices. However, here I want to mention one very important thing. You require a 30-watt USB-C power adapter to use with the included cable to charge all 3 devices with the max potential that they can. However, it is not included in this price in the box. So that is something that you definitely need to consider when buying this, that you need to get yourself a power block, whether it be a Nomad one, whether it be one from a different company like Anker or any other third-party power block if you don't have one laying around. I know that most companies are starting to expect that we have these power blocks just laying around everywhere. That may be true based on the devices. If you have a lot of devices, you potentially have a lot of power blocks. Making sure that it's 30 watts or higher is the other issue here. You might have one that's 20 watts, and not really have enough to charge all 3 devices with this charger. So it's better to just make sure that you have a 30 watt or higher when purchasing this 3-in-1 charging station. I personally purchased the 30 watt Nomad standard block because it just fits my needs perfect here. I can plug it into the outlet and then have a complete setup, and it matches the cable perfectly. That's just personally how I did it, but you can use any other 30 watt power adapter that you have laying around. The other thing I want to mention here is that you can charge your iPhone in vertical or landscape orientation. It allows you to use the standby mode that came out a while ago in iOS, so you can use it to see, different photos or the time in landscape, and it pretty much allows you to do everything you can on this 3-in-1 charger when charging your iPhone, AirPods, and your Apple Watch. Overall, I can tell you for the price point, it is a hefty price point, but not that bad. And the fact that it comes in such a really high quality design and material, I definitely recommend this charger because of that. I have not seen another charger that's built so well like this Nomad Stand One Max charger, and I'm telling you, this is something that you will definitely enjoy if you get yourself one of these. If you have any additional questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. If you like the video, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Zanif Tech is out.